So update 3.1 just went live, and with it brought a lot of fixes to the game, including the hit registration, and that's what I've been waiting for it to make a video, listing like the top weapons that you should use in the game. Obviously, I know the hit wedge is not working at at its best at the moment, but I feel like at the moment it's been way better than in the start of the game. So I wanted to show you like a top 5 of my weapons that I've been using. And if you have your own list or disagree, make sure to say that in the comments. Welcome everybody to the video. The Elusive Jim here. If you like these type of videos, make sure to subscribe, drop a like, because it really helps me out the channel and it helps out pumping more videos like this. So let's get straight into the video. At number 5 on the list is going to be the M5A1, and this is maybe a little bit controversial because a lot of people use this weapon, and that's for one of the reasons it's slow on my tier list. One of them is actually because it's a basic weapon. There isn't much to it. This is the most versatile weapon in the game. I'm gonna say just an assault rifle, 750 RPM, 45 base damage. Nothing really more special to it than that. It has very good accuracy and good recoil, good range basically, and it's just the standard noob gun. I wouldn't say noob gun, but just the standard gun you should be using just at the start of the game. For my attachments, I use the close combat mag for more recoil and recoil, RPM, and reload speed. This makes it into an SMG build, and I feel like this is where the build actually shines because it doesn't do too much damage, but at close quarters I feel like it can really compete. Use the rattlesnake grip for accuracy while moving, and the short barrel for more RPM. Or I use the suppressor, obviously, if I'm doing a nice flank and I don't want myself to be alone on the map. And that's one of the benefits of the plus system, as you can just switch between those two. So that one is a really good weapon, and basically I'm gonna give it the 5th place. For some people it could be like a top tier choice because it's so easy to use and so versatile, but for me it's a number 5. A number 4 is gonna be the K30 Vector. This is personally a weapon that I actually really love throughout different video games. The high RPM, the accuracy that it has is something that I really like about it. In the game at the moment, it does 35 base damage and 1200 RPM, so it's gonna pump those bullets really fast, right? I use the extended mag for this one, the 50 bullet mag, and it gives you 50 more RPM for some reason. I don't know if that's accurate. And I use the BCG grip for accuracy while moving, of course, and a suppressor. This is basically the run and rush gun. Okay, this is basically for rushing and pushing. This is a magnificent gun. It deals crazy damage at close, and the best part of it is actually super accurate. So I wouldn't say medium range, but a little bit more than that close range, it can still compete and do really good actually. So that's something that surprises me about it. But to be fully honest, 1200 RPM, and even with the 50 round, it's gonna run out of those bullets really fast. So you're gonna have to be careful using this one, but it's super rewarding in those close quarters when there's like 5th or like 5-6 people lining up. Just the feed there is gonna be super amazing. My 3rd weapon on the list is the SVK. Now this is the category of weapons that I love the most in different video games, which is tap firing weapons, or just burst fire, or tap fire, single fire. Just like in Battlefield 1, it was the auto loading extended, or I don't know which one or the others, I can't remember to be honest. But these are the types of weapons that I actually super enjoy, and I love these, like the FAL and all that, and I hope the FAL gets introduced at some point. But the SVK in this game has 220 RPM and 75 base damage. This is a 2-tap weapon, 2 hits and the dude is dead. Just like at any range, I believe it's 2 hits, or at least at most ranges that you're going to be using this weapon, it's going to be a 2-shot hit. This is super good at medium range. I wouldn't say a long range because that's too crazy for it, but at medium range, this weapon excels amazingly. And seriously, an amazing weapon at medium range. For it, I use either the extended mag, which gives you a little bit less damage, or I use the high power mag, which is the standard one. The extended mag, if you want to use it like with the low scope, and then for more I wouldn't say close quarters, but close engagements, that would be really good with this one because it still does a lot of damage. But usually I use either the high power extended mag and then the long barrel for better bullet velocity. I know it gives you less RPM, but it's more steady for me. And then I just use I don't know, any grip that gives you basically just accuracy while moving or while standing, or anyone is good, to be honest. It depends on your play style. But I also use the M22 3.5 scope, and I feel that was the best scope that for me, it was the best scope that I used, so I stick with that one. And you're gonna see me throughout the video using the standard scope as well, which is really good. So I'm at the second spot right here. This was really close between these two weapons, but I'm at the second spot. It's the AC-42, an amazing burst weapon. This weapon is just crazy in the right hands, and I literally mean it. 1200 RPM too, and it goes nuts. It deals 50 base damage, and you bet with 1020 RPM it goes nuts. It just drops people super quick, super quick at any ranges, to be honest. Like at mid range, at close range, even at, well, I wouldn't say super long range, but like medium to long range and close range. This weapon is simply just amazing. I don't know what's the variant of it on real life, but it's a bullpup, which is something I really like. I like having the magazines and the back in the weapons, and it's just a really good weapon to use. 50 base damage, like I said, 1200 RPM, amazing for any distances. Close quarters and medium range, this is something you have to choose, you have to play with. I use the extended mag, the rattlesnake grip, and the hollow sight, and the warhawk compensator for better vertical recoil, because the horizontal recoil with this one is basically non-existent because it's just a burst weapon, so you're not gonna feel too much that recoil. And the warhawk, you know, the vertical recoil, I just use it for the, you know, the initial kick, so it can help with that. I use the hollow sight. You can use any sight, to be honest, that you like, and obviously the extended mag for more bullets, and that's just it. So my first weapon, my favorite one in the game right here at the moment, it's gonna be the AK-24. This feels to me a little bit like the Ace 23, was it, on Battlefield 4, and it's just amazing. Basically, it's an all-around gun that will excel. I wouldn't say excel. It's not, but like there's better options at close quarters. There's better options at medium range, at long range. But this one just, it's an overall super versatile weapon that does good in any situation you throw it in. You know, whether it's close quarters, medium range, tap fire into long range, it just does good. You know, 52 base damage and 650 RPM. You know, the base damage is super nice. It deals a lot of damage, and to be honest, even though it might, it might looks like it has a lot of recoil, but once you figure out, it really doesn't. And I think this is why people do not play with it as much as the other, because, you know, the recoil of it. But to be honest, for a weapon that deals this much damage, I expected more recoil. You know, I'm just saying, I thought it's gonna be more recoil, but you know, it's super manageable to the distances that you're gonna be using in, which is gonna be close to medium range, because obviously, like I said, for mid to long range, you can still tap fire, but obviously you do not want to pick those fights because there's better weapons. If somebody has an SVK or a sniper, you're basically dead. I use with it the extended mag, the rattlesnake grip, and the warhawk or tactical muzzle grip. Basically, the warhawk gives you more vertical recoil, and the other one gives you horizontal recoil. To be honest, I think vertical recoil would be better in some situations, in a lot of situations, because this weapon has a kick at the beginning of the bullets. Like the first initial bullet has a kick to it, and I don't see this weapon having any horizontal recoil, to be honest. But you know, to each his own. These both work really good. I use the K8 hollow sight. You can use any sight, to be honest, you want with it, any sight that suits you, but that's what I use. So basically, these are the top 5 weapons that I use mostly in the game, and I feel like, you know, you should give a try to these weapons. If you have a different list, make sure to comment it down below and say what your list is. You know, if you like the video, make sure to like the video, and if you don't, well, dislike the video, and subscribe for more Battlefield 2042 content coming your way. And peace out.